Hi everyone, this is the second in a series of videos about ILO, Fundamental Principles and Rights at Work. This time, the topic is elimination of forced labor. What is forced or compulsory labor? It refers to all work or service which is exacted from a person under the threat of a penalty and for which the person has not offered himself or herself voluntarily. So tatlo yung elements ng definition. First, ito ay trabaho o serbisyo. At ito ay ginagawa ng tao kasi merong threat of a penalty. Kaya walang voluntariness kasi hindi niya gagawin yan kung walang threat. Ginagawa lang dahil sa presence ng threat. And what situations are not included as forced labor? First, work of purely military character in virtue of compulsory military service. For example, sa South Korea, required sila na magkaroon ng military service. At ito ay hindi considered na forced or compulsory labor based on the ILO definition. Next, consequence of a conviction in a court of law. Ikaw ay nag-commit ng crime at nasentensyahan ka, nasa prison ka at ikaw ay pinagtatrabaho doon, yan ay hindi considered na forced or compulsory labor as long as ikaw ay nagtatrabaho under a public authority. Hindi yung inilalabas ka ng prison tapos pinagtatrabaho ka ng isang private individual. Pag yung former, public authority ang nagsusupervise sa'yo within the prison walls, then this is considered as not forced or compulsory labor. Pero pag ikaw ay ginamit na ng public authority para pagtrabahuhin sa labas ng prison under a private individual, then that is considered already as forced or compulsory labor. Cases of emergency such as war or calamity. For example, nagkaroon ng giyera at ikaw ay tinawag para lumaban do sa battlefield, yan ay hindi forced or compulsory labor. Or merong giyera at ikaw ay nagtatrabaho sa factory, nagpro-produce ng mga materials kailangan para sa paglaban ng iyong country, then hindi yan kasama sa ILO definition. Next, normal civic obligations of the citizens of a fully self-governing country. For example, sa United States, pwede silang i-require na mag-jury duty. Di ba ang justice system nila ay meron silang jury. Ito yung mga civilians. Hindi naman ito part ng korte talaga, pero mga civilians, picked at random, ina-assess itong mga civilians na to kung fit sila to serve as jury for that particular case. Such as wala silang mga biases na pwede maka-affect sa kanilang judgment. So, ikaw kunwari ay napili at ayaw mo naman sana mag-serve, kaya lang napipilitan ka, although sa pilitan yan, hindi yan kasama sa ILO definition. Pero take note, nakalagay dito, citizens of a fully self-governing country. Kasi kunwari yung country mo ay under another country, hindi pa independent, at pinipilit kang magtrabaho, pwedeng yan ay forced or compulsory labor. Kung babalikan natin ng history, during the time of the Spaniards, di ba merong tinatawag na polo, which is forced labor. All able-bodied males ay nire-require na magtrabaho, for example, for construction of roads or churches. At pag hindi ka nagtrabaho, ikaw ay mape-penalize. Pwedeng merong fine, pwedeng merong physical punishment, or pwede ka namang magbayad para ma-exempt ka from polo. Since yan ay nire-require ng isang country na nag-invade dito sa ating bansa. Yan ay considered na forced or compulsory labor. Next, minor communal services to be done by the members of the community in the direct interest of the community. For example, nagpass ng resolution ang inyong community na i-impose nila ang certain penalties such as a fine yung mga hindi tumutupad dun sa Tapat Ko Linis Ko program na 'di ba dapat kailangan ang tapat ng iyong bahay ay malinis. Kaya pag kunwari yung tapat ng bahay mo ay makalat, hindi ka nagwawalis, hindi ka naglilinis sa tapat ng bahay mo, pwedeng ikaw ay ma-fine. Yung pagpilit sa'yo na ikaw ay maglinis, hindi yan considered na forced or compulsory labor. Kasi minor lang naman yung communal services at ito ay para sa ikabubuti ng buong community. Are there instances of forced labor imposed by state authorities? Unfortunately, meron. Kailan bang ginagawa ito ng mga state authorities? First, as punishment for expression of political views. Hindi ka tanggap-tanggap ang iyong political views, such as for example, kinikriticize mo ang gobyerno, kaya pagtatrabahuhin ka ng sapilitan. For purposes of economic development, gusto ng bansa na umunlad, pero kulang ang pera, kaya gagamitin ng citizenry as a form of manpower. Such as magtatayo ng mga infrastructure, sino ang magtatrabaho doon? Yung citizens. As a means of labor discipline, ikaw ay hindi disiplinado sa trabaho mo, kaya para matuto ka, okay, forced labor. As a punishment for participation in strikes, nag-strike ka na naudlo tuloy ang trabaho, kaya ikaw ay mapipilitang magtrabaho based dun sa sinabi ng iyong gobyerno. As a means of racial, religious, or other discrimination. Yung race mo ay considered na inferior, yung religion mo ay hindi kasama sa majority, o meron kang ibang characteristics such as gender orientation na nagiging source of discrimination, kaya anong ginagawa ng gobyerno? Parurusahan ka by forced labor. So, napaka-ironic kasi instead na yung gobyerno nagpa-protect sa atin, yung gobyerno ang nag-harm dun sa citizenry. Gaano ba ka-extensive itong um, state-imposed na forced or compulsory labor? There are 3.9 million or almost 4 million state-imposed cases of forced labor. So, widespread pa rin, di ba? Who are the victims of forced labor? First, people of both genders may be victims of forced labor. Distribution, 39.4% or almost 40% are females and 60+% are males. For type of work, females are more likely to be in domestic and sexual work. For instance, ilan ba ang nandoon sa forced sexual work? Almost 4 million yan. Tapos yung 6 million naman ay nandoon sa ibang klase ng work. Males are more likely to work in construction. Coercion use for females, abuse of vulnerability, and non-payment of wages. Yung perception ng female mismo na siya ay weak, yan ay ine-exploit ng mga nagfo-forced labor sa kanya. Kasi siya ay hindi makalaban kasi ang perception nga niya, siya ay powerless Yung non-payment of wages naman, common yan sa mga domestic workers. Hindi binibigay ang kanilang sweldo, kaya hindi siya makaalis. Yung males naman, threats of violence. Pwedeng sasaktan siya or financial penalties pag ikaw ay aalis, ikaw ay magbabayad ng mahal. Females are more likely than males to be subjected to physical and sexual abuse and threat against family. So, mas vulnerable ang females in relation to this. Migrant workers are more likely to be victims of forced labor. Wala sila sa sariling bansa, kaya mas madali silang exploit. The prevalence of forced labor among adult migrant workers is more than 3 times higher than their non-migrant counterparts. So, ang laki. More than 3 times higher. Kasi nga, na-exploit sila. Marami silang hindi alam. For example, dun sa country, hindi nila alam yung pangapasikot-sikot. Paano ba yung anong kanilang gagawin pag kailangan nila ng tulong. Kaya ang tendency, mas nagagamit itong kanilang lack of knowledge para sila ay ma-exploit. Nagagamit din yung kanilang lack of support system para sila ay ma-exploit. There are social factors that promote vulnerability to forced labor and primary among these is poverty. Pag ikaw ay mahirap, mas madali kang ma-exploit dahil wala kang power. Discrimination. Kung ikaw ay dinidiscriminate, nagiging marginalized ka. Wala kang support system. Kaya madali kang pagsamantalahan ng ibang tao. Lack of social protection. Pag sinabi natin social protection, ito yung public or private initiatives to help persons in economic risk. Pag ikaw ay nasa financial crisis, ano ang situation mo? Ito yung tinatawag na kapit sa patalim. Na kahit hindi maganda yung situation, ay papasukin mo na. Napipilitan ka. Tapos, ikaw ay lalong nalulubog Pag ikaw ay pumasok sa isang situation na kunwari mababa ang sweldo, na kulang sa'yo, mas malaki pa nagagastos mo, lumulubog ka lalo, kaya hindi ka lalo makaalis do'n. And debt bondage. May utang ka, kailangan kang magtrabaho, napipilitan kang magtrabaho. Or yung parents mo ay may utang, ikaw yung pinambabayad mismo sa utang nila. What are the myths and facts about forced labor? First myths, forced labor is a thing of the past, and forced labor affects only a few. Ano ba ang katotohanan? Fact, forced labor was in the past and is in the present. It affects millions and is growing. Pag sinabi natin slavery, ang naiisip natin usually ay yung noon pa nung panahon sa United States na ang dami mga slaves in the South na nagtatrabaho in domestic areas and in the cotton fields. Pero ngayon wala na yan. O yun ang tingin natin. Pero anong katotohanan? Almost 50 million persons were victims of modern slavery in 2021. Including 28 million in forced labor and 22 million in forced marriages. Bakit nila sinama yung forced marriages under slavery? Kasi pag ikaw ay pinilit na magpakasal, usually babae ito na pinipilit, ano ang expectation sa'yo? Ikaw ay magpro-provide ng services do sa husband mo, di ba? Kaya yan ay kasama sa modern slavery. And forced labor increased by 2.7 million between 2016 and 2021. So in 5 years, almost 3 million ang itinaas ng number ng forced labor cases. Myth, because forced labor is cheap or even free, it promotes the development of countries. Okay, let's consider the facts. Because forced labor is cheap or even free, it increases business profits. Totoo yun. Pero merong big but. Tingnan natin kung ano ang situation. First, 63% of forced labor happens in the private economy. So more than half ay mga private na businesses. 236 billion US dollars are generated in illegal profits every year. What does this mean? Yung 236 billion, instead na maibayad yan dun sa mga nagtatrabaho, yan ay ibinubulsa ng mga business owners. Illegal yung profits kasi brought about yan by forced labor. Kaya, cheap nga or pwede pa ngang libre. Kaya kumikita yung kumpanya. Pero it promotes unfair competition among businesses kasi hindi naman lahat ay nagpo-forced labor. So paano na yung nagbabayad ng mga legal na mga sweldo? Sila yung naglo-lose out kasi mas malaki ang gastos nila. Kaya ano ang tendency? Mas mahal ang kanilang products. So anong pinapatronize ng mga consumers na gustong makamura? Yung galing doon sa mga illegal na businesses na gumagamit ng forced labor. Kaya, ang tendency natatalo yung mga legal na businesses. It can damage the reputation of a company. Kumita ka nga, pero nabalitaan na ikaw ay gumagamit ng forced labor. So, ano ang reaction? May mga consumers who are more conscious about what's happening within the company and their choice of the product is also affected by the situations in a company that is producing the product. Kaya pwedeng i-boycott nila ang mga products coming from these forced labor companies. Nadadamage yung reputation, kaya ang tendency hindi na pinapatronize ng mga consumers. Kaya, on the long run, maglulose din yung company na gumagamit ng forced labor. Now, what are the recommendations of the ILO with regard to prevention of forced labor? First, promote the other rights of work, particularly freedom of association, elimination of child labor, and elimination of discrimination. Pag ito ay na-promote, mas na-enhance na ngayon ang prevention ng forced labor. Freedom of association, meron na siyang support galing doon sa organisasyon kaya hindi na siya mahina. Elimination of child labor, pag na-eliminate ang child labor, mas na-educate sila. Kaya ang tendency, alam na nila ang kanilang rights at mas nagiging skilled sila, kaya hindi na sila likely na ma-victimize. Elimination of discrimination, di ba? Ang discrimination is one of the root causes. Kaya Ito ay pag na-eliminate, malelesen ang tendency na magagamit yan para ma-force ang isang tao na magtrabaho. Address the root causes of workers' vulnerability to forced labor. Ang isang sa mga causes or factors that promote forced labor is discrimination. So na-discuss ko na yan doon sa previous na item. Pero aside from this, di ba ang primary cause is poverty. Kaya pag na-alleviate ang poverty, malilesen din ang forced labor. Pag ikaw ay may pera na, ang tendency, makakapamili ka na kung saan ka papasok na trabaho. Hindi yung kakapit ka nga sa patalim kasi wala ka na mapasukan kasi kailangan mo na yung pera. Pag meron kang social protection, mawalan ka man ng trabaho, hindi ka agad makahanap ng magandang trabaho, hindi mo papasukin itong forced labor kasi iniisip mo naman, hindi ako hindi magugutom ang pamilya ko, hindi ako mawawala ng bahay kasi meron naman akong suporta because of the government initiative or private initiatives na napupunta sa akin. So, ito ay makaka-prevent ng forced labor. This awareness of those who are most likely to become victims. Hindi pa sila nabi-victimize. Kailangan alam na nila, oy, high risk kayo para ma-prevent nila ang victimization. Raise awareness regarding sanctions for violators. So, ito naman yung other party. Ito yung mga possible na perpetrators, di ba? Nagbabalak pa lang siya, ay alam na niya, uy, mapaparusahan ako, so hindi ko na nga gagawin. Or ginagawa niya, pero natatakot na siya ngayon, uy, meron na palang law na magpaparusa pag dito sa ginagawa ko, so itigil ko na nga. Then conduct skills training programs for at-risk groups. Pag mas marami kang skills, mas malaki ang iyong employability. Kaya, ang tendency, hindi ka basta-basta ma-victimize. Kasi, mamimili ka na ngayon ng papasukan mo na trabaho eh. Hindi ka mapipilitang pumasok doon sa trabaho na nag-e-exploit sa'yo. More preventive measures ensure that national laws and regulations governing employment relationship cover all sectors and that they are effectively enforced. Ang isang basic na example lang dito ay yung employment contract. Maraming mga trabaho, walang employment contract. Parang, sige lang, o magkanong sweldo? Ganito, o sige, magsimula ka na. Dapat written ang employment contract at very transparent. Hindi ka dapat magtatrabaho, for example, sa isang kumpanya na hindi mo alam kung magkano ang sasahurin mo. Yung ibang mga bagong graduates, nahihiya na magtanong, pero yan ay part ng iyong right na ikaw ay ma-inform kung anong iyong pinapasok. At yung employment contract mo ay dapat nandoon lahat ng mga terms and conditions related to your employment na napaka-transparent at madaling maintindihan. Provide basic security guarantees. Kasama dito yung mga social protection programs. For example, pag ikaw ay nawalan ng trabaho, di ba sa ibang bansa, meron silang unemployment na program na pwede kang humingi ng suporta sa gobyerno habang ikaw ay walang trabaho. So at least, meron kang assurance na hindi ka basta-basta magugutom. Kaya, hindi ka papasok sa isang trabaho na napipilitan ka lang kasi wala ka ng ibang mapasukan. Implement measures to decrease the likelihood of forced labor among migrants, such as what? Orientation of migrants before departure. Kailangan alam niya yung country na pupuntahan niya, alam niya yung kultura ng mga tao, ano ang expectation sa kanya, alam niya kung saan siya pupunta just in case ina-abuse siya, para bago pa mangyari ang abuse ay meron na siyang information na parang weapon na niya yan na in preparation for anything that could possibly happen. Provide guidance and support to employers and businesses to decrease the risk of forced labor in their operations. Pwede kasi na yung employers and businesses ay hindi aware na forced labor na pala ang kanilang ginagawa. So, kailangan sila ay maturuan. And what are the recommendations of the ILO with regard to protection of victims of forced labor? First, make effort to identify and release victims of forced labor. How? Use sources of information. Mag-surveillance para makita kung meron ba talagang victims of forced labor doon sa isang area para ma-release sila. Provide unconditional protective measures to victims. Pag sinabi nating unconditional, yung protective measures ay hindi naka-base doon sa cooperation ng victim to prosecute the perpetrators. kahit yung victim ay ayaw niyang mag-file ng charges, kailangan meron pa ring protective measures na binibigay sa kanya. Encourage the cooperation of victims for the identification and punishment of perpetrators. Pero kung pwede, sana ay tumulong yung victim para ma-identify at maparusahan yung perpetrators para sila ay hindi na gagawin yung kanilang actions na yon, para hindi na mag-suffer yung ibang tao at para merong justice naman. Protect victims from prosecution or penalties for their involvement in illegal activities that they were compelled to commit. For example, yung victim ay napilitang mag-transport ng droga dahil merong threat sa kanyang life o threat sa life ng kanyang family. So ito, sapilitan lang na kanyang ginawa. Kaso, illegal ang pag-transport ng droga. Kailangan kinoconsider yan para maprotektahan yung victim kasi hindi naman niya kasalanan, di ba? Na napilitan lang kasi siya pero siya yung gumawa ng krimen. In most instances, siya ay mai-involve at mape-penalize. Dapat ito ay kinoconsider na ito ay forced labor. Meet the needs of all victims for both immediate assistance and long-term recovery and rehabilitation. Ano ba yung immediate assistance na yan? Usually nakakoncern yan sa safety. Pero hindi nag-stop dyan. Kahit kunwari mapakulong na nga yung perpetrators, meron pa ring need yung victim Kasi long-term recovery and rehabilitation ito, some victims get traumatized. Kaya yung iba sa kanila, kailangan nila psychological counseling or therapy. Meet the special needs of child victims. Iba kasi yung needs ng mga bata Like for example, education. Para hindi na mauulit yung nangyari sa kanila. Meet the needs of migrant worker victims irrespective of their legal status in the national territory. Ang national territory na sinasabi dito ay kung nasaang bansa sila, kung saan sila nag-migrate at nagtrabaho. Kaya kunwari, kahit sila ay illegal immigrant, kailangan ma-meet ang needs nila kasi sila ay considered na victims. Hindi sila dapat basta-basta i-deport at tulungan na lang na magkaroon ng voluntary repatriation. Pwede rin na kailangan nila ng economic and psychological support kasi kunwari may mga kaso na ifa-file nandoon sila sa ibang bansa. Hindi sila makapagtrabaho, so kailangan merong support system na umaalala sa kanila. What is the recommendation of the ILO with regard to remedies for victims of forced labor? Ang sinasabi ng ILO, provide access to justice and other remedies such as compensation for personal and material damages. Unahin natin ang justice. Kailangan maparusahan yung mga perpetrators. Ano naman itong compensation? Personal damages. Ano ba yung damage na nangyari sa kanya personally? Nagkaroon siya ng anxiety, na trauma siya. Nag-iba ang tingin niya sa sarili niya. Nagkaroon siya ng mga changes sa kanyang personality, sa kanyang self-functioning. Kaya lahat ito ay dapat pabayaran. Material damages. Meron siyang lost wages kasi hindi siya nabayaran ng tama. Kaya kailangan yon ay maibalik plus interest. Or, tama naman yung binayad na sweldo para sa posisyon niya. Pero, hindi siya nakapag-apply sa isang posisyon kung saan higher sana ang kanyang matatanggap na sweldo, so meron pa ring lost wages yon. Kaya kailangan maibalik pa rin yon with interest. What are the recommendations of the ILO with regard to enforcement of measures against forced labor? For enforcement measures, give authorities such as labor inspection services the necessary mandate, resource, and training to allow them to enforce the law. Kailangan merong particular agencies or persons na delegated na mag-enforce nitong law na to. At kailangan sila ay trained. Provide for imposition of penalties aside from penal sanctions, such as the confiscation of profits of forced labor. Yung penal sanctions, yung makukulong sila. Pero aside from that, ito ang maganda. I-confiscate yung profits ng forced labor. Kasi, yan yung ninakaw nila, di ba? Dapat na naibayad nila yan doon sa mga nagtrabaho, pero sila ay kumita at ibinulsa nila yung kita. Kumita sila ng malaki kasi wala silang binayaran o kukonti lang ang kanilang binayaran. Kaya ito, yung profit na kanilang nakuha ay dapat aalisin sa kanila. At pwedeng dito manggagaling na yung damages na ibabayad doon sa mga nagsuffer na mga victims. Ensure that perpetrators of forced labor can be held liable. Kailangan ma-identify sila, ma-arrest, ma-try sa court, at maparusahan. Strengthen efforts to identify victims, including the development of indicators of forced labor that can be used by different persons or groups. First, ano itong indicators of forced labor? Ito yung pwede mga signs na magsususpetsa ka na baka forced labor itong case na to. Ito namang different persons or groups na pwedeng gumamit nitong mga indicators na to. Pwedeng yan ay anyone who could come in contact with the possible victim. Such as for instance, immigration authorities. Pwedeng ito ay yung social worker, pwede mga healthcare workers. Pag ikaw ay nagtatrabaho for example sa isang agency na meron kang contact with the possible victims, pag na-identify mo, oy teka, may suspecha ako parang case ng forced labor yan. So yan ay ifa-follow up mo na kasi nga baka case talaga ng forced labor. So that is all about forced labor. We need to remember something. When a person is forced to work, then his workers' rights are violated. And remember, workers' rights are human rights. So when a person is forced to work, then it's not just his workers' rights that are violated, but his rights as a human being are also violated.